Okay, YouTube, again, here I am back where I'm getting ready to continue my sanding. I know I said earlier that I used a 550 wet sandpaper, but really it's a P500. It's a little bit more coarser than a 200, but it's not really coarse where it looks like you leave scratches. All right, so this is the sandpaper that I use. All right, just for the first part. Now also too, what I use for my wet sanding too is this it's a block. I got it from Lowe's, and I see with some people they like to use their hand, but after I kind of saw this, I said, wait a minute, I think one of these soft sanding blocks would do good. Now this says it's a fine, F-I-N-E, and it's by 3M, and I got it out of Lowe's warehouse. So, and like I said, the same thing, this has got, you can't even feel the sandpaper or anything on here. So really it's just such a real fine that it wouldn't even scratch anything. Same thing with the sides, I mean the bottom and the sides. And then also too, the reason I wanted to go with this because you can kind of see it'll hold water as you're wet sanding. You don't have to worry about keep dipping the sandpaper into the bucket. And then also too, it's soft and pliable enough that it'll go around curves and corners without over sanding. All right, so go down to Lowe's and get a couple of these. Now how I use this with a combination, I wrap my sandpaper around it just like this, and all I do, dip it into the bucket, water goes in on the top and the bottom after I let this sit and soak for a little bit, and then it'll maintain moisture, and I can continue to do a lot of areas without having to worry about re-dipping the sandpaper into the water. Also too, when I wet sand, some people just like to use regular soap, but I'm using Dawn. The reason I want to use Dawn because Dawn, like I said, same thing, it will get rid of grease and any residue that you may have. And I did the lower section, and the Dawn has performed very well. It not only did it get rid of any grease and whatever I might have had on there from the last time I did my earlier sanding, but also too, it works as a good lubricant. Now what I do, I like to do it at a consistency where it's like you're washing your car. That way it's a protective film between the sandpaper and the place that you're wet sanding. So this is where how I do my mixture. First I like to put a little bit of water in the bucket first. Really like to put water in the bucket first because if you did it in a dry bucket, when you shoot the water in there, it'll just make all suds. You won't get any hardly no water in there. So I'm gonna shoot it with a consistency about like that. I hold it down in there. See, I'm not making a whole lot of suds, but when I get enough water in there, I'll pull it up so I can get some suds. But that's gonna give me some suds in there when I start scrubbing. All right, so we'll stop there for right now. Kind of give you an idea how this works. I stick it in there, and you see how that's gonna hold the water and the soap. And see, you've got soap on the end of that. It's constantly coming out of the sponge. All right, I'm gonna let this sandpaper soak for a little bit, and then I'll get started on the upper section of wet sanding my fifth wheel again.